Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 most powerful ways to heal yourself. I have been on my own spiritual healing journey for a decade or more and learned many different tricks along the way, so I definitely want to share those with you. And I've worked with thousands of people on healing their challenges as well, and so I want to kind of bring together all that information so that you can feel more whole and balanced, because really that is what healing is. What is the antidote to healing? It is wholeness. It is love. It is this frequency and flow of harmony and universal divinity that runs and moves through us. This is our natural state, and many things have brought us out of balance, such as trauma or just human life in general. There's so many different things that can create imbalances or distortions within this flow of love and wholeness and balance. And so this is what I want to get into. So I'm going to go through my top 5 ways right now. Okay, so the first thing that we need to get into to understand the rest of the tips is generally what's happening when we are being healed. So what is healed when we're looking at healing? Because that's the antidote, and the antidote is wholeness, right? And so how then do we get to this greater level of wholeness? Well, this greater level of wholeness, unity, oneness, has a higher vibration. And that higher vibration that is more in its pure unity form can then raise the vibration of a certain piece of ourselves that is traumatized, distorted, pushed out, unconscious, wounded, all of those kinds of things. And so the 101 to healing yourself and healing in general is to put yourself in a vibrational field that is higher than that thing that needs to be healed. And so that's the first tip, is to understand that concept. Now that can go into many different areas, and it's very deep and actually quite fun, so we're going to get into that, but these other tips will specify more of how we can do this. So the second tip, which is critical, like it's foundational, fundamental to healing yourself, is being open to being healed. Okay, being open to it. Now this isn't just like with your mind, like, yeah, I'm open to being healed, I'm open to getting over my issues or triggers. It's the full relinquishing of that victimhood, of that issue, of that past thing, of that energetic entrainment. It is the full yes, body, mind, and soul, to releasing that and coming back into flow. So that is one of the biggest things that I've seen over the years in many different healing sessions that I've done and in group settings, which is that when I'm tuning into someone, say as the healer, and I am going, okay, so what can we do to bring more wholeness, right? That's really the question. Then I scan the energetic field, and one of the things is as much is available is what I can see. Or sometimes I can actually see certain things, often cases, but I'm just not allowed to say it or not allowed to go there because the person's not actually ready to let that go and not open to it. So the key is to be open to wholeness, to be open to healing. And that's one of the perpetual things that I've seen kind of over the years when I was on my own like deeper healing crap clean out journey in my early 20s, is that a lot of people in this initial stage of healing get caught up in constantly needing to be healed, right? And you can that can become its own distortion, and people can stay in that spiral of having issues. And so really being open to healing is actually one of the most powerful ways to heal. So that is number 2. Number 3 is understanding that we are on a path right now in this spiritual awakening, this phase of it in our historical time, that is a self-initiation path. In the past, it's been different. There's been times where we awaken through gurus. Like, we don't actually know what's happening energetically to us or why it's happening, but we just kind of entrust and give our power to a guru or to a teacher, and they just heal us, and we don't kind of know how it happened. We're not consciously participating. But in this part of our awakening, we're actively acting on our own behalf to become whole and wonderful once again. And so in this space, it requires us to hold many different perspectives at once, which can be sometimes kind of challenging, but I find it actually quite fun. So it's the idea that, one, it's becoming conscious, which we'll get to in a second as another tip, but it's becoming conscious, right, of our issues, of these things that need to be healed, and becoming very aware of that, and then going, okay, I have this thing that needs to be healed. Now, how do I heal it, right? And actually scanning and searching for the solution, the antidote energy, right, energetic, that can then heal that thing, and then merging and bridging that gap to where then you become healed. You're your own healer and your own client at once, and being able to hold that, scan it, find a person or a modality or a thing that then can assist you to the healed version of that particular thing. So example, throw it out there, would be, I knew that I had trauma from birth. From my birthing process, my mom was drugged, and it was kind of like an emergency situation, and so that I knew had a traumatic imprint on part of my energetics, which actually made it challenging for me to complete things. That's kind of a whole nother video that I'll do, because that's actually a really cool story. And so I knew that this was something that I needed to complete. So then I scanned, figured out, okay, there's this kind of trauma healing that helps with the rebirth, repatterning of this infant birth trauma. And then I went through that process and got myself healed, and it was incredible and one of the most powerful healings I've ever had. So for instance, so that's an example, right? This would be like, okay, I've got this issue. Now what is the solution for that issue? And there's so many solutions out there. So you're in really good hands. But becoming the objective observer of your own awakening, your own kind of guide, channeling your higher self, while at the same time simultaneously realizing that you got this stuff that you need to work on and heal. And sometimes people can get caught up in just being the kind of healed perfect one when you still have the crap. So it's being able to realize that you're not fully fixed yet, but feel the fixedness. You know what I mean? It's paradoxical. It's kind of strange, but it's really, really critical to healing yourself. So the fourth tip is what I had just alluded to, which is looking deeply into your shadow or unconscious, because often, many times, the things that we need to heal in ourselves are those things we're not aware of. Oh crap, how are we going to do this? It gets kind of challenging, and it requires some real courage and real humility and real self-honesty to go into those things and look at them. And sometimes you just might not at all be aware of them at all. And I do have a video on shadow work which can help you in that particular category, so I suggest going and watching that. But in this case is one of the great ways to bring in support, to bring in help. And in any of these cases in this list, bringing in people like healers, spiritual healers, this is the opportunity, right? This is the space when you can't see that thing yourself, but you know it's there. Or it's like, I can't quite put my finger on it. And that's where clairvoyance and healers can come in and energetically like see into your field and then help you get to the root of it, right? And then hold that energetic space to then bring that to healing. And so actually identifying the thing that it is and then bringing healing to it is a really powerful way. So that's where you want to bring in a healer or some kind of support to look at those things that you might not be able to see. And often asking family and friends to tell you, maybe in a very kind way, setting that up in a healthy way, and going, okay, what are some of my shadows that I don't see, or what are some things that I could work on in a really safe, kind of like humble, kind setting between you two or between certain people. Often the people around us know exactly what our challenges or issues are that need to be healed, but again, we have to be open to it, right? That's why people aren't just going to be like, yeah, this is your issue. I mean, some people are that bold, but they're not going to just say it to you unless you're open and asking and willing. So again, going back to that openness is really key. And then getting that support from people that are really good at this kind of thing to help you through it. And I did it for years, and it was profound, the effects that people had. I'm not personally doing sessions right now. I'm too busy with other things, though I would like to go back to it soon because it is powerful. One of the ways that I am healing now is obviously like through this to help, and then also in group settings, which is pretty interesting because oftentimes one of the things that we might have woundings around is actually being with amongst other people, more than one person, and being heard in that setting or being expressed and those kinds of things. And so it's really fun for me to help people heal in kind of a bigger social collective setting that adds more components to it, which is always fun and challenging. So that's kind of the new way that I'm doing it personally. So getting yourself into these situations where you can look into your unconscious, and there's many different things that can do this too, like different kind of shamanic journeys, regressions that can take you back. I mean, I've done regressions with certain people where we go back and they want to see, say, like an alien lifetime or their abduction. They end up going back to a molestation that they've suppressed and maybe forgotten or pushed away. So it's one of those things that whatever needs to come up will come up next. There's an order of operation to healing. That's one of the things that I've definitely learned. And it's like you can't access a certain thing until this layer is unlocked. So letting what comes up be what comes up. There's certain things that we might want to do with our minds or our excitement or our egos being like, well, I want to go explore this thing. And it's like, you need to go look over here first. And that will actually give you the full capacities where we don't have these blocks and wounds to then experience this thing over here that we're really stoked about that might have higher transmissions. And if we are blocked in certain ways, those things, maybe connecting with guides or angelic beings or extraterrestrials, they're not going to come through that transmission, or that information is going to come through skewed or scattered if we don't fix these other things first. So sometimes it might not seem fun, but after it's complete, believe me, it is so much better to heal. Now, the fifth tip and the final tip is to find the modality or the kind of energy that works for you to raise your vibration in these certain categories to then bring you to wholeness. And often your excitement will lead you to that certain thing, or sometimes your mortal fear of this particular modality or experience might lead you also to that thing as well. So looking at that. So there's so many different ways of healing. I mean, healing can come through light, through sound, through color, through frequency. Like those are the key vibrations that bring us back into harmony and wholeness. And so doing any kind of modality connected to any of those is going to be very rich and beautiful and wonderful. Even for filming this video, I had like all this orange, which actually orange put into your energetic field can cause healing. But in this case, I was like, let's go for some more purple tones, because I know that color therapy is actually very healing to the energetic system. So you even watching this video with these certain colors is helpful. So seeing what resonates with you. It might be color therapy, it might be sound healing, it might be light therapy, it might be a million different things. So seeing what resonates with you and going in that direction. Of course, again, it's a little bit tricky, right, when we're going out into the healing world or all these different modalities or maybe even plant medicines, all these different things, and to know what is in alignment or what isn't. So in that space, of course, going back to that objective perspective, so that the wound isn't just giving away your power to someone else, as you're going, is this healer right for me, or is this ceremony right for me? But going, okay, objectively, let me use my empathic abilities. Let's tune in, scan. Is this accurate? I know I've got this wound and it needs to be fixed, but is this the appropriate energy or modality or teacher that can really bring true wholeness? Because sometimes you can actually create situations that can re-traumatize or bring up more, which actually can be powerful in its own right, because then you can see more and more that thing that needs to be healed, or that distortion that was attracted can also reveal part of the thing that needs to be healed. yeah, there's a lot of complexity here and a lot of different nuances to it, but just really tuning in objectively, empathically, kind of, again, channeling your higher self or your future self or your whole self and going, okay, look after me. Is this accurate? Is this what I really do need? And then waiting for that yes from your guides, from your energy, from synchronicity to move you forward in that direction. And then that kind of wounded part can come along. And then the ultimate goal is to bring them back into integration. Certain places can also bring up very healing vibrations, right? So you hear me talk about the sacred sites in particular places and those accelerative energies. If it's more of a vortex energy like Sedona, it can just bring whatever needs to come up, to the surface, because when your vibration goes up, those things that are out of alignment go bing, 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 hello, you need to fix me, so that we can all go as one being to this next level. So vortex places can do that. Chakra sites are more nurturing in general. So places like Hawaii or Glastonbury or Shasta, places like that where the energy is coming down and there is more of a healing vibration. Now things can definitely come up in those places, and I've had, tremendous healing challenges come up in these places, but there's a very nurturing quality to them as well. So places are a big one for me. You know that. You've heard me talk about that a lot. And then there's many other things to adjust and raise your vibration, such as crystals and plants and certain people and vibrations and groups that can assist. So just tuning into what's right for you. So there are so many different pieces to this. These are just some of the top 5, the beginning, really critical ways to begin healing yourself. I have lots of other experiences and things that I can share about on this topic if you're interested. So please comment below and let me know what nuances of healing or being healed, healer, spiritual healing you're interested in, and I can go into it much deeper because I've been doing healing sessions and working with groups of people for over a decade, and so I've seen a lot of different situations and can help in any way. And so I would love to do it in this collective way, right, through these videos, so that it can get out to everyone. So please let me know what would be the most helpful for you. If you do like videos like this, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. Be sure to like and check me out on Instagram for more daily updates. And I'll be doing videos every Tuesday for sure. And the Thursday videos, it might just be a bonus. I'm going to see how this goes because I want to make sure that I have time and space to do all the other things that I am working on right now. So see you soon with another video.